bumps, right? So you could pull that tape off if it was a temperature thing. But what they talked about is knockback. So basically, knockback is as you go over those bumps that we talk about handling, it literally takes the pads and bangs them away from the rotor. So now when you step on the pedal, the first 2/3 of the pedal is to just push them back where they belong without the bouncing and without the shaking. So they feel like it's knockback. Jeff, way less of a concern for knockback. Now, you're not going to like it as a race car driver, but I don't feel that's going to fail. If it was a temperature thing, that would concern me.
Well, when you say Hall of Famer Fireball Roberts won it in 30 times. Also, Hall of Famer Bobby Allison won his 1983 Cup Championship driving the 22. Just a little bit of ground, but it was the closest that he's been to the race leader so far, with 32 to go in stage one. Let's see if he has another run as Logano comes on the inside of John Hunter Nemechek, and Berry just shadowing, lurking and watching and waiting for an opportunity.
Well, if you look right there on the left, if you're going to pass the 22, you're going to have to be at your best because he is the best at defending his position. I think that's only even magnified more when you're the leader of the race. That's like even another step. So he's number one of all the playoff drivers. Number one, really, of everyone in the field. That is his spot to hold.
Saw in the back of the shot right there, Ryan Blaney has run the two first and second place guys down. They were fighting each other a little bit, trying to get around John Hunter. That's given Blaney an opportunity.
It is Ford-powered cars 1, 2, and 3. Logano, Berry, and Blaney in the playoffs that have been dominated by Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas. The highest placed JGR car at the moment is Denny Hamlin in 12th.
What I will say about this 12, who's now recovered to third, remember he lost a few spots off the start. Jeff and I both documented he wasn't great on new tires in practice. So Marty, it looked to me like on the first start he was just maybe a little careful. He had probably one of the best cars in practice, like he was taking care of it. But I think at some point, if on the next restart he has the same issue, he might need a little help from his team for fire-off speed.
That's what I was going to ask you about, Steve, if you were Jonathan Hassler, because clearly that speed that everyone saw in practice yesterday showing up for Ryan Blaney right now. But to start second and drop all the way back to seventh and then drive all the way back up to third and get a challenge for second here in a moment. Steve, if you were Jonathan Hassler, would you be worried about the start of the race? The driver, Ryan Blaney, hadn't said a word about it when he dropped back to seventh, and now he's driven back up to third.
It's a cliche, but silence is golden. So if my driver's not complaining about it, I'm going to assume, Jeff, that the experience, the champion behind the wheel, doesn't need it fixed, because I believe that Ryan, as should any driver, is he's going to make a great move on the 21, who kind of got stuck on the offense, slid up 3 wide into turn 1.
That's a great example right there, Steve, of Josh Berry trying to make something happen, and it didn't work, and he actually lost spots doing it, right?
Yeah.
Understanding when to make a pass and when not to try to make a pass. You know, you always want to go on offense, but when you got a guy behind you that has a lot of speed, you have to decide, if I don't make this pass, what's going to happen? And you just saw it right there.
So back to that story, just to close the loop on Blaney, I think, Marty, I would ask him, I wouldn't leave it up to just him being quiet on the radio, just confirm what I'm seeing. But if he's not complaining, I wouldn't concern as we look off the rear bumper of the 22. Thanks to Hunt Brothers Pizza. You just look back right there. That's what the 12 does the best. It's that no man's land in the middle of the corner. There's not much you can do as a race car driver. At some point, the front tires just have to do the work.
That's what I told you guys.
Watch this.
You're good. It's about the corner.
It turns down. See how it turns and gets. I know it looks very little, but Jeff,
track
how much
because I
better
can
that car
do just
drives
that.
You can unwind the wheel and it actually does what it's supposed to do.
If you can do just
had a string of top 10s here, but not in the last few races. It's been 18th or worse. But he was very optimistic coming into this race today, saying we feel this is our best chance to win here in New Hampshire. And it may have taken 45 laps to get here, but finally it's Logano and Blaney back in the top 2 positions like it was at the drop of the green. And Blaney is the man on the move. Here he comes.
Right here is
an opportunity for Blaney. Logano had to enter turn 3 much lower than he wanted to, trying to get around
just like I know how to drive a track.
Custer.
Watch this. He's going to get under him right
But
here.
now he's cleared Custer. Now
he's going to clear Custer off of the turn. Watch him. He's going to clear
right there,
him
he can't stay the bottom. That allows Logano to turn, get rotated.
See, watch. Going to be even with him right here in the turn. Watch. Even right
Custer
here.
running in the 32nd spot, so they've lapped Ware Kyle Busch, not the day he's looking for. John Hunter, Nemechek, and Jones. So the legacy cars, when they run good, they run good together. Unfortunately, at the moment, both a little off the pace together. 41 of Custer. Next up the road is Stenhouse Jr. in that 47. I bring that up because out of the sight now is the 9 of Chase Elliott. He kind of got through the traffic a little bit, running 21st, but now is straightaway ahead. I think that a nice job of confirming he should stay on the lead lap if everything goes right for 23 more.
And he had a bad first lap, Chase Elliott did. So since the end of lap 1, he's made up 11 positions to get himself back up to 21st, Jeff.
And he just ran the fastest lap of anybody on the racetrack the lap before that. So he has good pace, but they're going to have to find a way to get track position. Good battle for the lead right here.